and I wanted to welcome you to my new yoga YouTube channel. Now, if you know me in real life, I have been talking about teaching yoga classes for a really long time, but it never seems the right time. There's always something that I've been waiting for, whether it's moving house or moving into my new yoga space, or not finishing my yoga teacher training, or not having the right equipment. I always find an excuse. But I feel like most things in life, especially the ones that we really care about and are important to us, we don't do because we never feel ready. So I don't want this to become one of those things that I have been procrastinating about for years. And this is me taking the leap of faith and finally filming the introduction, which I have been thinking about for a long time. So I wanted to just tell you a little bit about myself, how I got into yoga, why I want to share this practice with you, and some of the most common misconceptions that do stop people from trying out this practice and joining a class. Now, one of the things I often keep hearing is I'm not flexible to do yoga, and if you could teach me yoga, you can teach anybody. And honestly, you become flexible by doing yoga. So in school and through my teenage years, I used to hate any sort of sports, and that was mainly because I believed that I wasn't good to do them. I wasn't good enough, I wasn't fast enough, I wasn't slim enough. And I would completely avoid swimming or PE classes whenever I could, because I had this thing in my head that I was just a bigger person and, you know, sports wasn't for me. I think I was in my early 20s and I discovered running, and I've joined the gym, and I was very much about cardio and high intensity workouts and shedding some of the weight off, and that has become my main goal. And round about this time I have tried out yoga, and I felt like it wasn't really doing anything for me. I found it incredibly boring. And it wasn't until about 5 years ago that I have tried yoga and something has shifted. I was following this 8-week plan. I was in the process of training for a half marathon, and every Friday I would do a yoga class, and I realized slowly that this has become the thing that I was looking forward to the most, and I was looking forward to those classes and trying out new things, and somehow I got hooked. Now I do practice yoga probably about 5 times a week on most weeks, which might seem like a lot, but it could be anything between 15 minutes to 2-hour session, and I also do other stuff. But it has become something really important to me for a number of reasons, and I want to tell you about those now. If, like me, you will be drawn or you are curious about yoga because it's a great physical movement practice and that's your thing, and you're not interested in anything else, then fabulous, you know, welcome on board. But yoga is so much more than just a movement practice, and I think what happens to most students and yoga practitioners is that we are drawn to yoga because it is such a great and all-around physical movement practice, but it becomes so much more. It becomes a way of life. Now, if you're not interested, then that's fine, and nobody will be forcing you to. But in the videos I want to share, I want to teach you not only about the physical aspect of yoga, but also some of the philosophy behind it, and some of the moral kind of codes and guidelines that come with it, because I feel like it has benefited my life in so many ways and keeps benefiting my life in so many ways. So I hope to inspire. Obviously, physical aspect of yoga will be probably one of the main reasons why you are here, and that's completely fine. And to be honest, it's fantastic, because in our day-to-day lives, I feel like we abuse our bodies quite a bit, you know, from the way we're sitting. So we sit on our computers like this, and we get road rage, and then we hunch our back and bring our shoulders really close to our ears. And I feel like we do everything, well, not everybody, but a lot of people, you know, where we harm our body, whether it's with the food we choose, or drinks, or smoking, or other habits that we pick up along the way. And all our body is doing is trying to keep us alive. No matter how much abuse we throw at it, it helps us, and its main goal is to keep us alive. So yoga will be a fantastic gift to give back to yourself and to your, physical vessel. So that's just one of the things, and once it's quite difficult to encompass everything into this short, what I'm hoping to be a short video. But the physical aspect is definitely important. Now, some of the common misconceptions I think I've already talked about is that people don't feel like they're flexible enough. They feel like they need to have a lot of time on their hands, and even just 5-10 minutes a day will do amazing stuff for you. So like I said, the modern way of living causes a lot of pains and strains and things to get stuck, and causes us a lot of pain. So even if you don't want to do anything fancy and just take a few minutes a day to kind of wiggle and create a little bit of space in some of those tighter areas of your body, will greatly benefit you in the long run. Now, I'm sure that all of us want to grow to a really nice age and still be supple and be able to do our day-to-day stuff without suffering, and yoga is one of the ways to get to that. So physical aspect of yoga is wonderful. One of the other things that I've touched on already is how much it changes you as a person and how much it affects your mind. Now, I used to be quite an anxious person. I'm still now quite, dynamic, and I need to do one thing 1 minute and something else the next. But I certainly have noticed that things have shifted for me, and I don't have such a short attention span anymore. I am able to focus more, and I have learned to sit with myself and with my feelings, rather than avoiding them by always doing something and having to be somewhere and talk to somebody. So this ability to come back to yourself and to process the things that are happening to you in your life has been another gift that yoga practice has given to me. Now, you might have heard that breath and getting in touch with your breath is a big thing in yoga, so I wanted to explain why, and there's a number of reasons. So first of all is from the physical aspect of flexibility, which is what a lot of people want to achieve when they get into this practice. And you will very often hear something like breathe into your shin or breathe into your hip, and every yoga teacher knows that the oxygen when we take an inhale only goes into our lungs. What we really mean is bring attention to that part of your body that feels a little bit tight. And by you creating that neuromuscular connection, you are able to focus on the sensation, bringing some of the engagement into that part, and that's how openings happen and tightness releases, because you have intentionally brought some focus to that part of your body. So that's one of the things. Now, the second thing why breath is so important, whether it's in this practice, the movement practice, but also meditation, is that it helps you access parasympathetic state. Now, this is something you might not have heard about before, but you might have heard about fight or flight. Now, fight or flight is something that has been with human beings for long time. And in essence, it is this state of your mind and your body reaction when your body perceives something as a threat or you being in danger. So your heart will start racing, your palms might start sweating, and in essence, you are ready to defend yourself or to run away from danger. The other scale of fight and flight is rest and digest, which is the parasympathetic state, and that's when our body feels like it has got time to heal, it has got time to relax, rest, process the information, process the emotions and things that have been happening to it, and in essence do all the things it needs to do to repair itself and maintain the functions of itself. Now, rest and digest is a state that we access by taking long exhales. So in meditation you might come across a cue, for example, to take a really long exhale or exhale for as long as you can. And in essence, what we're trying to do and what we're trying to get to is this rest and digest state of mind and state of body in which you can then relax. Now, this can affect your, if you feel quite anxious, it can help you to lessen those feelings. But in physical practice, it will also help you to, it will also almost tell your mind and your brain, it's okay, I can relax in here, I can create that length, that space. And again, it comes back to this idea of creating more flexibility. So that's why breath is such an important thing in yoga practice, and you will often hear a teacher cueing you to take an inhale in certain pose or exhale, or just reminding you to keep breathing. So that's in a nutshell one of the things I wanted to touch on, and it's this idea of breath. Now, in terms of starting a yoga practice, because it can feel quite a daunting thing when you're first starting out, you don't need any fancy clothes, you don't need any fancy space like I do. I mean, it is quite fancy, but I like to spend quite a bit of time in here. But you don't need anything other than a little bit of space to practice on, and your body and willingness to step on your mat and in essence do something for yourself. So if you feel like your flexibility, lack of, I don't know, gym jack, leggings or something is stopping you from starting this practice, then please do not let it stop you, because you will increase your quality of life and how you feel in your physical vessel and in your body so much more, just by doing quick 10-15 minutes a day. If you want to progress and it is something that will suck you in, then obviously you will then do what you need to do to continue that practice, and that is 100% your choice. So nobody will ever force you to do anything other than what you feel like you're called to do and you want to do. Everything in yoga is 100% your choice and your decision. So that's what I wanted to touch on in this video. I'm hoping to start sharing these classes with you very soon. I'm still in my 200-hour teacher training. I'm probably about 3/4 into it now, and I've already signed up for the following 300 training, which will be taking place from July to December this year. But I'm hoping to start teaching at least some classes for beginners, and eventually, hopefully, I can start teaching some of the more complex flows, which I've already been working on. And I'm just so excited that you're on this journey, because watching this video means that you must be curious about yoga practice. So I'm so excited about the things you will learn about yourself, about this practice, about the body, and all the benefits you are about to reap. I just want to leave you with this one last thing. Yoga is a journey. That you, once you decide to start walking, it will be walking for a very long time. There's always something new to learn, something new to discover. It will lead you to different people, different places, and it is just amazing. So without further ado, I hope that there is going to be a class on this channel up shortly. In the meantime, if you want to ask me any questions, you can post it in the comments on here, or you can DM me on my yoga Instagram, which is Karian Yoga. Karian is with 2 N's. You can ask me anything, and if I know the answer, I'll get back to you. If not, I'll find out. I sounded like in my day-to-day job now. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'm so excited to start teaching you soon.